my personal belief when it comes to Adam and Eve in the garden. Alright. I believe back then a lot of the stuff that we deal with now, with disease and technology, but also gender roles, wasn't a thing back then. We didn't have this hierarchy of, how women look at men and how men look at women, right? It was just utopia. It was just peace. There was no death. There was no disease. You just lived life. And honestly, I think back then, I don't even know if we needed to even eat meat. I mean, we might. I mean, an animal might have, been brought to us, and we might, Adam and Eve might have eaten meat in the garden. But who knows? Maybe the need for protein was partly due to the sin that we got when we ate the fruit. But in my personal opinion, I mean, if you actually look at it, like, because Eve was the one that ate the fruit. She went to the garden. I mean, I don't know what, she was allowed to go wander by herself. She came upon the tree, I believe the tree of knowledge, or was it the tree of life? Because I know there was two trees, or how I learned there was two trees in the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve ate from one. But Eve was manipulated by another man, Lucifer, and was naive and gullible and believed what this person said. Didn't think what Adam would think about it. Didn't even register that this tree might be the tree that God told her not to eat. And she ate it. And she's like, oh my God, this fruit is so good. Why were we told not to eat it? and she ran to Adam to get him to eat it too. Just like women, misery love company. She doesn't tell him that this is the fruit that God told us not to eat. Deception, We did not question her. We just listened to our woman. And we ate it. And due to that, we came to sin. That was the first sin. It was the birth of sin, not obeying God's divine law and His words as law. And so He cast out Adam and Eve. But I do think that this, and then, in doing, eating the fruit and in doing casting us, Adam and Eve, out, gave birth to sin. It gave birth to, all sin. Murder, lying, deception, war, disease. All these are aspects of sin. They're all, our cross to bear. But I think our original cross to bear was women, no offense, you guys can hate it, but women allowing you to think for yourselves, make decisions for yourself, leads you astray because you guys do not. Majority of you women don't have. Every now and then, there are some women that actually have intelligence and actually can think for themselves. But in the end, even they are led astray because they are led by their heart. They are ruled by their emotions. Men are not. Yes, that can be a bad thing because it can make us very cold and jaded and closed off. And men can be evil just as much as women can. But women, you don't even think about it. You guys just act on emotions and how you feel about something instead of how you actually think about it. And I think we're seeing that, and I think the feminist movement is another act of women eating the fruit and men not doing anything to stop him. Because I do think that's I think that's men's cross to bear, listening to women, and I think that's woman's cross to bear is to allowing her to think for herself without question. I mean, if you want to allow your woman to have her own opinions, that's fine, but don't just let her be. You must question. And I don't think a woman can question a man. But I do believe that, Adam and Eve, they had a beautiful, peaceful life. Didn't have any worries. There was no jealousy. There was no there was no reason to have jealousy because there's just Adam and Eve. So I think when Eve ate the fruit and Adam followed, that was the birth of all the sin we have now. Jealousy, murder, infidelity, war, disease. But it was also the blessings. It was also technology, cures, entertainment, movies, music. I mean, so with the good comes the bad, and with the bad comes the good. I mean, before it was just bliss. I mean, there was no shame, there was no embarrassment. I mean, Adam and Eve just walked around naked in the Garden of Eden. But once they left, that's when everything came to be born. That's when sin was born. And I think, honestly, if you actually look at the Bible or an evolution, they are saying the exact same thing, just in two different ways. I do think, I mean, it's the same thing with God not being, he's not male, not per se. He doesn't have physical form. He's beyond that. But he does, but the patriarchy, divine law, is his law. He does believe men are in charge. But he does believe that men and women are both valuable to him. He cares for us equally. We are not equal from a material, physical, biological aspects. But in the spiritual aspects of value, we matter to him equally. He loves men, women, children, old, black, white, people that have done evil things and people that have done blessings. He loves everybody equally. And he wants everybody to come to him. And he can, I mean, I think it's one of our hardest things is forgiving somebody that has done us wrong. Where God, I have my own personal beliefs about that. I mean, because I don't really think we can really judge people through his eyes because his understanding on, I mean, he's able to look past things that men and women are not able to. We are not able to look past the betrayal and the hurt that people do. We hold on to it. So there's certain people that if I see them in heaven, I don't want to be there anymore. But he can look past that and see the person, but he has the ability to hear their heart and see that they actually are truly ashamed of their actions. We humans think we do, but we really don't. I mean, we can get it right every now and then, but hey, a clock is right every now and then, twice. That's how it goes. But in my personal opinion, I think we need to go back to the traditional gender role, patriarchy way of life. Alright? This feminist way of ideology and thought process and path we've taken is leading us astray. I just feel like it's the crosses that we're bearing and you women in this day and age a lot of times might not like it, but I think they're also broken and mutated. I think women now are just they're not what they used to be. I mean, men have changed a little bit, but men have literally changed. We've changed and adapted to the times that we're in. You women you've mutated and evolved into something that just it goes against everything that's within you. You are striving to be. I mean, it's like I feel like we're back in the Garden of Eden again, and you guys have eaten the fruit, and we allowed it. Men need to stop allowing it. Like, and this is not misogynist or sexist. It's to say that men have final say. That when a man speaks, you shush. We need to, I mean, and honestly, this isn't just even a sexist thing. It's like, because not all men say intelligent things. I mean, there are some men out there. Men don't respect men that just say common sense or fucking that. They actually have to prove to work on it. But women, you guys, from what I've seen in my own life and what I've seen in the world and what I've watched on social media, you women cannot be good when you guys are allowed to think for yourself. You guys just can't. There's a few that can and be decent, but you guys don't have it into you to actually think what's best for everybody, what's best for the family. You women just you guys don't even realize how evil it is, but you guys only worry about what's best for you and how you feel about what's best. I do think that's part of. I think, and if people actually thought about what I'm saying and actually looked at it and really thought about what was going on, you'd realize I was right. I mean, I think everything that women need to be at home with the kids under the man's leadership. I do believe in the home. I mean, I think you need to follow something more than yourself. So whether it be the Abraham God or the gods of the old ways, I think you need something more than yourself. And you need that thing that you're following, you need it grounded. And what I mean by that is that it's unwavering. It doesn't change. Like, I mean, I can't remember how he worded it, but that guy that was doing an interview with Andrew Wilson, the way that Andrew speaks about his opinions is that they're set in stone. That nothing you say is going to shake his belief. But he has an open mind that he could be wrong. He's not saying he is, and he's not swerving away from his path, but he's open to the interpretation that he might be wrong. He could be. He might be. But he doesn't believe it, and that's where he stands. But he's open to the interpretation that he might be, to have a conversation with somebody about the possibility of being wrong. I mean, and I think honestly, after listening to Andrew Wilson and of the Crucible, I've come to, I mean, honestly, if Christians can be more like him and more like the Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox Church, then I might turn back. I might turn back, honestly. But I mean, as of right now, I'm not per se religious, but I understand the Bible. I think enough to speak on it. I mean, don't quote me on facts and all that, but these are my interpretation of what the Bible says. And I mean, I do believe that this isn't like to talk shit about women. This isn't to praise men for being all holy, but I mean, I think this is the divine way. I think women were designed to follow. You guys were not designed to go get credit, to go get that promotion, to go hunt for animals, to protect, to survive, to sacrifice your life for your wife and children. That's not your position. And it's very uncomfortable for you women to try to fucking get in there. And it's not that men are intimidated or fucking, feel a certain way. If you do our job, what are we doing? Because it's belittling for a man to stay home. It's belittling. And men are not, I mean, I don't think men are designed to be around kids all the time. I mean, it's the same thing I think I had a conversation with my wife. Is that, I mean, men can do it. Men can raise kids on their own. But it's like this weird niche in our brains that we can only do certain things if we have to. We have to. Like if my wife decides to leave and just leave and leave the kids here with me, I can take care of them. Because now that she's not here and she wants to be selfish, then I have to take care of I have to be there for my kids. But seeing the fact that she's here, it kind of takes that niche off to where I don't have to because she's here. That's her job. That's her role. That's her duties. My duties is to go this way. So that's where I think, honestly, I think men can do it if we have to. I mean, it has to be that life or death kind of niche where, like, the woman's in the hospital, the wife's in the hospital, she's sick. All right, I gotta make sure the kids are taken care of. The wife wants to leave. All right, I gotta take care of them. You women, though, the man leaves, and it's not even because like he's leaving. He typically gets pushed out, but it's like we leave, and it's like you guys just want to have this captain save her. Like I gotta do it all on my own, all by myself. Well, you didn't have to. You didn't have to do it by yourself. You had somebody there that was willing to fucking do it with you. I mean, yes, men are very childish and we think with our penis and all, but I also think we're also a lot more adult and common sense and fucking rational when it comes to when the shit hits the fan. You women lose your brains. And I'm kind of all over the place now. And then I usually bring this up to talk about the Adam and Eve thing and all that. But I mean, I also do believe that all of this stuff that I talk about, I need help to put it in the right order. But I think all of the stuff I talk about ties in with each other in a giant spider web. And God, the devil, and life is the spider that's waiting for you to get stuck in it, stuck in the web somewhere in your life. And the moment you get stuck, you shake. And then that's when the spider attacks. That's when life attacks. That's when death comes. And you got some insects out there that can get out of a spider web pretty easy. And you also have other spiders that can walk on the spider web. But they also know that this is a spider's web and I'm in somebody's home. So I gotta watch out. If that makes any sense. But it's not, I do believe that men are superior to women mentally, physically, and emotionally. But I do think that women have inherent value due to the fact of their body's ability to give life. You can't give life without a man, but your body is pretty much the laboratory and half the ingredients. I'm the other half of the ingredients and the scientist, and together we make us, a lab and a family. So I do believe that women have inherent value due to the ability that their body has. And I think men are inherently superior due to physical, emotionally, and mentally, superiority. But together we make balance. We make harmony. We make tranquility. We make the world go around. We can't do this without each other. So as much as my opinions and all that might come from, what it sounds like is a misogynist, sexist fucking aspects, it's not. It's a reality aspects. I have my place. I have my duty. I have my lane that I have to stay in. So do you. Alright, and men that go into a woman's lane, it makes them weak. Men are not designed to be in, a woman's space for too long. And that's not some trans joke, but the soft, nurturing aspects, as much as a man can do it, especially when you have a woman here that's supposed to be doing that, and then you have to do that, it does something to a man. It breaks him down mentally, because a man's supposed to be that stoic, frames man that has shit in order, that's focused. I can't be focused and the discipliner when I have to be the nurturer at the same time. And I think that's why, So I think, men we need that balance in a house where the woman's a nurturer, the man's a discipliner. Both parents love you, are there for you, care for you, and want the best, and guiding you to the best. But I don't know. I'm all over the place. I think I just ended there. You guys tell me what you guys got out of that. I have so much to say, but I need people to talk with and bounce back and forth with and have conversations with, because I'm stuck here having these conversations with myself 90% of the time. So yeah, anybody in the United States or Washington particularly, that wants to have deep, intellectual adult conversations about life, religion, politics, school districts, anything. Just anything really. But I like to be deep with them. I don't like to just talk like this just another Tuesday. I talk about life like I'm thinking about the next 50 years and where life is going to be in 50 years. Where are my children going to be in 50 years? Where am I going to be in 50 years? So, if anybody's out there, hit me up.